Aftercare, for y'all that don't know, is a newer term that we're sort of using to describe what happens after you have sex. It's not just like, you put a thing in a hole, you rub your holes together, and then you leave. It's about people, even if you're having casual sex. Like, it doesn't matter. I think Aftercare people associate with relationships and with like a level of intimacy that you only have during making love. But I disagree. I think the idea that we can take care of each other if we're all going to have sex or not.
I just feel like this is you leading up to like asking if this man wanted to come with me to get the test.
Well, you know me, so yes.
So
like, what was his reaction to you saying, I'm going to go get tested? He was like, oh yeah.
No. I mean, his thing was, you should go get tested. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously you should go get tested. I have like running to my doctor.
I've been exposed.
At my doctor's office already.
Right. But you would have never included him in that process.
Not a once.
Why?
I would almost why back to you. I mean, this man and I went on 3 dates.
Sure.
He wasn't very forthright about
the
having
situation.
This disease.
Well, see, that would make me go, and you're coming with me.
But that seems out of spite, though.
For me, not out of spite, but just out of like, hey, if you're the one who has it, right? If you're the one who has it, you are all I would like for you to take your responsibility for your body. I had an HPV scare, right? Mm-hmm. And I, thinking that I didn't get it from the partner, thinking that I possibly had it before and didn't know. And then had like a huge moment and called him and was like, hey, he offered to come with me. And I said, don't worry about it. But he was so kind and generous and considerate in the way that he dealt with it. He was like, don't worry, like, we'll figure it out. If you do have it, let me know. I'll go get tested as well. I'll probably go get tested anyway. And I said, like, we both had this exchange of like, do you want me to come with you? Do you want me to be, how much do you want me to be a part of it? As opposed to, you should probably go deal with that.
Right,
like,
but what, this man's supposed to come and like sit in the doctor's office with me while he's like, where do you think you have gonorrhea?
I don't know. Sometimes STD or STI tests are scary.
I mean, it's inherently not my favorite thing.
Right.
I mean, particularly.
Again, I just think that like, I once dated a guy with herpes. Okay. And that was like a huge moment for us. He told me he had herpes and I was like, okay. He was so scared. He thought it was going to be a deal breaker. I really liked him. And I was like, this is not a deal breaker for me. I'm aware that he was on medication. He already had his moment. He was clear most of the time. We pretty much exclusively had sex with a condom, obviously. Yeah. There was just so much like openness there that I didn't feel like I had to worry about not being taken care of in that situation. And I think that's because that person took responsibility for their body as well as mine. And
sure.
Maybe it's because we were possibly going to date, but like,
but like I've dated guys who were positive for HIV before.
Right.
This is not about sort of like, oh my God, you have a disease, hence for them not into you.
No, it's the way they handle it. Right, 100%.
But at the same time, I don't particularly like crave the aftercare.
But also like how could he have handled it differently that would make you go, oh, great, let's keep dating? I just would have,
at the moment that I found, if it was me,
but we don't,
and I found out that I had gonorrhea or anything, I would immediately text every person that I've had sex with recently, like, by the way.
When do you think he found out?
I don't know.
Okay.
But before I texted him, because he knew already. It's not like the texts emerged simultaneously.
Right.
It's not like his physician called him just as I was like, hey, let's go on another date.
No, right. And I think that's the shady part. Okay, so that I respect that.
But I wonder if there's like a different standard of like how relationships work, even if it's casual dating from heterosexual people to gay people. In that like there is sort of an expectation that like of chivalry, if you will, when it comes to like showing up for women in a way that doesn't exist in
but you are also so resistant to this idea that you would ever need to be showed up for or considered in that way.
Maybe that's a product of my experience.